Hey guys, this is really, really special. I sat down, and this is very rare that I have people on more than once. I want to have it more, but I don't do it as much as I'd love to. But I had Tali come on, and the reason I re-invited him on, I had him on early on in my podcasting career to talk about his father. But now I had him on because he put out this album called Holy Outlaws, and it is absolutely fire. It is one of the best Jewish music I've heard in a really, really long time. It touched my soul. It is all country style Jewish music, and it is absolutely fantastic. You got to check it out. The conversation I had with Tali was awesome. You can reach out to him, taliyes.com. You can get it at holyoutlaws.com. We're going to put everything in the description, but just such a beautiful conversation about someone who is the son of a giant who found his own voice, and you will absolutely love it. Remember to like, follow, subscribe. All those things really, really help, and I hope you enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Brainstorm podcast. And now, your host, Sonny Perlman.
Okay, let me tell you what happened the other day. Okay, first of all, I was telling you before we started, we're going right in. Before we started, I very rarely have doubles on, like having people on. I want to have doubles. I actually love the idea of like having regulars.
To be one of the few.
Right, you really are. So what happened was the other day, I don't know if you sent it out or something. It just popped up on my feed, your new album with the country music.
It was on like my WhatsApp status.
It might have been on your WhatsApp status.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it came to me because I generally don't listen to a lot of music.
Right.
Because the last time I loved music, again, was like A.B. Rottenberg and your dad and Destiny.
We spoke about this
last time, right? So the rest is non-Jewish music. Like, I like non-Jewish music a lot, but Jewish music is a little hard for me. Also, I put this on. I'm like, okay, this is the thought. Because first of all, loved it. We'll talk about it. But
So good.
absolutely loved it.
It sounded goyish.
It sounded, yeah. It was like Roadhouse country, like
trucker music. Yeah.
It was so good. And we'll talk about, I've been thoroughly enjoying it since. I have lots of thoughts. But the other thing is, I thought, I immediately, this very rarely happens, I called you up. I'm like, let's do a pod. Now, that was a couple weeks ago because
Oh, yeah, I'm typing and everything.
I was literally in middle listening. I had to like pause and just call you or text. I don't remember. The real reason was the last time I had you on, it was a lot about, I didn't know who you were. And you didn't really make a big musical splash yet. Which you must have, but I wasn't aware of it.
I was more known at the time for trying to resurrect my father's music one way or the other.
Right.
Which, thank God, I successfully did.
Which you definitely did. And I would say, for me, I got to go with you down memory lane, and to me, I had you on for your father. So what I was saying is, this is not a double in a weird way, because I was like, whoa, this guy found his voice.
My sound, yeah.
There he is.
I've been looking for it for a long time.
Really?
I've been dabbling in a lot, because to me, like, I studied music, and music is just music. Whether you're listening to this style or that style, and I always wrote songs in like kind of like whatever flavor I felt it required to really either drive the message home or that was appropriate for the lyrics, or his style, or whether it's even a Hebrew song or an English song. Like, to me, like if the style fit, try to go with the one that's like most appropriate. So I've done everything very eclectically, everything from blues to rap, rock, heavy metal, reggae, jazzy numbers, country, bluegrass, all over the place. Never really country rock.
Okay. And
I remember I was like, one point I was speaking to Avram Rosenblum from the Asbury Shiva Band, and I was already like leaning into this type of music that, like, I listened to Goyish music too when I was younger, and I used to joke with people even when I was on Nachum Siegel's show, like when this first came out. And I was telling him, like, I grew up listening to Bon Jovi, and that kind of style of rock that had a lot of Southern cowboy undertones, like, Blaze of Glory, Wanted Dead or Alive, The Tombstone, and that kind of, feeling.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like what I was trying to channel. I'm like, no one does it. There's a lot of Jewish country. There's this guy, Joe Buchanan now, who's doing country music.
I seen his stuff. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's good, but he's country. It's like comparing.
He's real country.
Kenny Rogers to Bon Jovi, or like he's like more classical country, like folky country, whereas this is a lot more leaning into the rock side of things.
Okay.
Heavier, it's grittier, darker. It's kind of brings that like lone wolf Sigma energy to the kind of to the table about it. Like, I'm an unapologetic Jew. You don't like it, we're gonna have beef.
That was what was getting me.
And the first song that I put out before the album actually came out was the album that's on the song, but I did a really long version of it. It was like probably the longest song I ever put out. It was like 7 minutes and something. It was called "Forged with Steel in the City Gold." It's track 2 on this.
It's my favorite,
and it went nuts before this album ever came out. I already went nuts. I'm like, okay, this is a sign. It's for sure going to be a success. So just run with it. And I haven't put out an album since like 2017 or 2017 or 2019. It's been like 7 years or so at least. So since my mom passed away. And so I was like, push this thing like crazy. Like, get it out there until the right people hear it, because when they hear it, they're going to like it. If you like it and people like that one song, just wait till they hear the rest of the stuff on it. And so I decided, just for the sake of the CD and for the album, make a radio edit that's a couple minutes shorter, because it's like, even with the crazy length, it got played like more than any other track I've ever had.
Really?
Of the full length version. So it's like, if I could make a shorter version, people with less patience will for sure like it too. And they did, and a lot of people shared it, and people were reaching out to me going, "I love the sound for you. This is you. This is like literally your personality. I don't know how come it took you so long to do this." So I was.
Did you feel that also? Like,
yeah.
This is you.
I felt it like if I had to take one Geisha album with me, for example, on a deserted island.
Okay.
To give an example, the yeshiva that I went to, I took one Geisha album with me. It was on a cassette tape, and I took out the screws and put it into an Avram Fried's cassette tape cover, stuck it in my Walkman, and that was Bon Jovi's Crossroads album.
You did that?
All the hits.
That's
All the
fantastic.
hits. And it got me through the 6 months I was in that yeshiva. But that if I had to pick one sound to listen to for forever, it would be that sound. And I like the fact that his lyrics were pretty much clean. It wasn't like trashy. It's kind of like a wholesome sounding guy for the most part, compared to like a lot of the other stuff that's out there. It's very, I guess, conservative in that sense.
You ever hear Norm Macdonald joke about that? Sorry, I'm just cutting you
Go
off.
ahead.
I do Norm Macdonald every single day.
great,
It's very important in my life. So actually, the person designing this got me a book called Normisms, which I've never read yet. So we'll have
Jew,
to,
no?
What?
Is he Jewish?
No.
He's Canadian. Sorry, he's
Canadian
right.
from like the farm area.
Yeah, we had something in common. I mean,
He's Canadian.
Right.
He's amazing. But he says he has like reading these blue jokes, and he says, I've been on a desert island, and to tell you the truth, the 5 albums I brought haven't helped much. It's just like that was a joke. Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
So Bon Jovi is
that's style, Bon Jovi, Leonard Skinner, like that kind of like
Southern rock.
Southern rock, like truck stop music. I know this did well. I sent you even a screenshot of this, so like with a random like mind blown emoji. I check on my Spotify artist app, and it tells me who's playlisting my stuff. One of them is like Christian trucker playlists. Like the guy are listening to this stuff, even they like it.
They would, because it's great.
And it's saying Hashem instead of like Jesus in it. Or whatever.
Do it. He could. Listen, I listen to a lot of Christian rock. I listen to a lot of. I'm not. I don't know if I'm allowed to.
I hear that, but it's a conflict for a lot of us.
I will tell you, it could be a
it
conflict, but I cook Shabbos and listen to Christian rock.
A lot of people
Shabbos, it's terrible. But all right, maybe I should cut that out.
No. I've gotten messages from. I put out a lot of music, probably 50 tracks before this album came out, and never did I get like more than maybe one message when a song came out. Even my old album, I think I had my old album. I had a couple, 2 or 3 messages ever since it came out from people, And that album was really just about grief and dealing with losing a parent or loved one, and it was very like personal. It wasn't made for commercial reasons. It was more just therapy for me, and for anybody else that helped. Great, 2 people were helped or 1 by good. It was worth the effort, and it did. It did help a couple people, but this one I wanted to be something that would make like an iconic wave. Like my father, when he came on the scene, like he made Jewish music sound a lot more goyish than it ever did. And I just moved that goalpost like a couple more miles that way. That's all I did.
Well, you had to
like,
because
make it sound,
no, you're
but without taking away from the authentic Jewish message of the song. So I couldn't like say that like I'm gonna make it like goyish in the sense that it's completely universal and everything. No, it still has Jewish words in it. It has a tasteful amount where it's not like making it sound like something that your Magid Shir is pushing on you, but at the same time, it gives you the satisfaction of listening to that sound that you get from the trucker music and the southern rock and all that, without the conflict of feeling like but I shouldn't be doing this because of my neshama, like that kind of vibe. I wanted to just
okay. So let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a quick analysis because I was listening to it and I was like, why am I loving this so much? Besides for the sound, it's just
thank you
banging. It's so good, but the lyrics themselves, the vibe I got. So you're saying it's like that lone wolf thing. I don't think you could have been more time appropriate because all of us are like in this conflict of like almost being embarrassed to be a Jew. Am I a gullish Jew? Am I Zionist? Like, there are
the whole world's hating us.
The
whole
world's hating us. Yeah. But there's a part of us, like the fascinating thing I saw, which in the beginning I was very like shocked by. Like I'm like, wow, there's all these Jews that are going against Israel. Like that was very shocking.
Everybody voting for his new mayor in New York.
But I would say this
makes no sense.
What's more Jewish than to care about your enemies? To care about the downtrodden that are getting hurt, even if the guy just hurt you. This is the most Jewish thing, Jesus came from somewhere.
Well, Yahya Sinwar was treated for some condition in an Israeli hospital when they let him out, and he spent the rest of his life trying to kill Israel.
Right. So even in our DNA, this is going back to your thing. Even our DNA is to like, okay, we shouldn't hurt other people. Like we're Rahmanim, where we like want to help. So like our insides. Are being
we
torn.
mirror Hashem. Hashem doesn't always help those that deserve it.
Right.
I was learning like Shara B'Tachon, like, and it's a fascinating sefer, and it's telling you how like, all the different characteristics that it takes to have a trusted friend. And it's saying the only thing in the world that actually has all these characteristics is Hashem. One of them is that your friend isn't going to help you just if he feels you worthy of his help. He's going to help you because he's your friend and because he loves you no matter what. Right, and that's really what it is, and we try to mirror that as his chosen people. We're here to say, we're taking God's attributes and trying to bring it down into the world in our own behavior. Some of us behave that way,
right?
I can't always speak for myself, that's for sure. But the funny thing is that song "Forged with Steel," when it came out, the day it dropped, or at least like the day after, or whatever it was, that was a day that we blew up half of Iran.
Oh, wow.
So it was literally perfect timing.
Good timing.
It was like literally the timing. I didn't even know they were going to blow up Iran. I had a hint because like the refueling trucks for the B-2 bombers was heading to the Middle East. And over that, and they're like, okay, that's weird. Why is the president setting all these things there? And now they're moving them over to Qatar. And so you get an idea, wherever the refueling trucks are going, that's where the heavy hitters are going, right? But I said something's up. I didn't know exactly what. I had a feeling it was Iran because that's the guy that everybody was waiting for. And then the thing happened to be dropped like that. It was perfect timing. And like everybody was like, yeah, show them. Jews are rock.
Well, what it has is this is the end of the thought is that you have. It's like that piece of us that Jewish pride. You just don't hear it enough. That's the lone wolf. Like, bring it, world.
Yeah,
we are so proud.
I don't need a pack to make me feel validated. I am a only son to Hashem as far as I'm concerned. And I feel it, and everything that I do, and each and every one of us is like his only child. And at the end of the day, you can't wipe us out. You can try. Some of us you might get, but you'll never get all of us. Otherwise, he'd be embarrassing himself, and that's not going to happen either.
No, it's not going to happen.
So, like, we know how the story ends. Every time somebody comes up and rises up against us, what happens to them? Look at Israel. How many wars did we start? 0. How many wars did he win? All of them. Right? Some of them by crazy, miraculous.
I think almost every single one is miraculous.
For sure.
The world thinks we're so
especially
powerful.
in the last couple of years, the beepers, the drone raids, the walkie-talkies, this stuff. Military strategists used to look at this. The book of Yeshua for interesting ways how they use the topography of the land and the time of the day and everything to coordinate attacks and things like that. Now they're going to be looking at this stuff made Yeshua's stuff look like child's play. The kind of stuff that we were doing. It's like so miraculous.
It's so funny. You heard that about Yeshua?
Biblical level stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a new chapter in the Torah coming, happened in the last few years. It made God's greatness even crazier than anybody thought. Even the Arabs were like, "Oh, we can't kill them." Like God's stopping their bombs from hitting them. You remember that?
Pretty amazing, yeah. It's funny because when I was 17 years old, I was learning Yeshua.
Yeah.
And I started diagramming all the wars and making diagrams. I didn't realize that was something that people studied. I was fascinated how they were kicking them out and then came from the. I mean, it's pretty vicious the way they used to fight wars.
I just picked it up again for the first time in probably 15 years, and I'm reading it. And I'm reading right now just the very beginning, how he took the city of Ai. It's funny, he called Ai, they pronounce in the Koran Tanakh, they have it written as AI. That's a little weird.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know, but he's he led a group to attack him from this side, and meanwhile a bunch of people went around from the back, took the city, burned the city down, and then as soon as they saw the flames of the city, they came back and they attacked them, and they sandwiched them and killed them and wiped them out. Yeah, and I was like, okay, it's a brilliant move. It's today's days. That's kind of a standard in a lot of military stuff. But
it might be standard, but you don't kill
they didn't start
men, women,
that
and children like they used to. They really
only when we were told to. It wasn't like we wouldn't look to do that. At the end of the day, we'd rather not. But
we'd rather not.
I felt weird about this whole Hamas thing.
Wait, hold on. Before you move it a little closer to you.
Yeah, sorry.
Because bring it to you. Bring it. Sit wherever you are. But.
I felt weird about how this whole last week played out with the hostages coming back and everything. I'm like, we got this close. Every time we're this close to finishing Amalek, one of these guys gets away. It's the end of Inspector Gadget. There's that hand that's I'll get you, Gadget. So there's always that one terrorist is still alive. We never finish the job, but hopefully later.
How could you finish the job? There's no way to finish the job.
Yeah, they're always going to want us. They're always going to want more of us.
No, I'm saying, okay, I get it.
I hear it. Like the horseshoe thing you told me about. All roads lead to anti-Semitism.
Yes. The idea of the horseshoe he's talking about is when you go more and more and more extreme, and then eventually the horseshoe starts dipping in, and everybody the far right and the far left, Candace Owens and who's far left. I don't even
Bernie
know.
Sanders. One thing they can all agree on is that the Jews, even though he's a Jew, the one thing that we can all agree on is that Israel has to go. Come on.
This ad is for the women listening to this podcast. This company is called Wig Guru. It's wig-guru.com. They have the most innovative ways to deal with one of the worst issues of wigs, which is slipping back and it looking not in place. Women have a big issue with, not noticing when everybody could tell that it's a wig because it's slipping back. The amount of innovative products that Wig Guru have is phenomenal. They are customer based. Many, many customers are reaching out and saying, could you make this product in this different way? And, I like this part, but I don't like this part. There are many, many different types of wig grips, including the trademarked and copyright pending Grip-A-Fix, original Grip-A-Fix, and as well as her wig glue, which is water soluble and is taking the internet by storm. So go over there, put in the code Brainstorm, and you will get 10% off. It is wig-guru.com.
Get over it. It's the oldest, like, what's the word? I'm like scapegoat in the book.
Yeah.
Like it never gets old.
Well, there's what's his name? Ami, not Ami. He's a big soldier guy. He's on the internet a lot. He had such a good explanation about anti-Semitism, and I thought I heard something recently. I read something recently.
Ari Fold?
No.
Oh,
What's his name? He's awesome. Anyway, well, if I remember later, I'll say. But he was explaining. He had like his like allegory of like we're on a plane, and then there's and they say, oh, there's a doctor on the plane. Someone's dying. So the doctor. So there's a guy on the plane, and he's like, I'm a doctor. And he says, great. And then they bring him up to the person, and he's dying, and he says, could you help him? And the doctor's like, yes, I can. As a matter of fact, I have my whole tool bag here. I could do everything I need to do to help this guy. And then he just sits there, and the guy dies. And he said that is, the world knows that the Jews have the power to save them. This is what he believed. He says the world knows in their kishkas, like in their thing, that he called it we're the immune system of the world. That we have the power, the link with God, that we could actually save them. They know it in their core. And the fact that they're suffering is our fault. That's a fascinating idea.
The fact that they're suffering is our fault because
they know. It's almost like a father. Like, why aren't you saving me,
because we're not saving them?
Because we haven't saved them. So there's something wrong. If there's anything wrong with them, there's something wrong with the Jews.
We're too busy trying to save ourselves from them. What do you think?
Well, that's the thing.
If you just put your guns down for 5 minutes, we might actually be able to open the bag up. You know.
I could say something that I just read that I think will get me canceled. That's connected to that, which is that your brain is 2% of your body weight, and it uses up 20% of your energy.
There's a lot more than that, no? 20%?
I think it's about 20% of your like calories burned go to your brain.
Okay.
So you think it's more than that?
I think
our body's moving and breathing.
80-20, you have the 80-20 flipped. I think it's 80%.
80% of your...
I could be wrong. We'll look it up.
Anyway,
fact check it later.
We can fact check.
Right.
Jamie, fact check that. So I was like, that sounds like the Jewish ratio. We're 2% of the world.
We're not 2%. We're 0.2.
Right. In America, we're 2%.
America is 2% of America, yeah. And the rest of the world, I think it's like 0.2 or 0.02 of the whole world.
Low.
It's like so like negligible.
That makes me so proud.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your album, because that's what... No, your album is filled with this Jewish pride. And I hear Sharbi Tuchan in there, by the way. There's a lot of like relationship with God stuff in there.
So Sharbi Tuchan, B'tachon is something I always felt was important, but Sharbi B'tachon I only picked up really recently after there was a guy who was a chavrusa, like a little Chassidus class that we had before davening at the shul that I go to, Anshe Lubavitch in Fairlawn. And they have Shabbos morning, this little shir when I first moved to Fairlawn.
In where?
Fairlawn. I'm in Fairlawn.
Fairlawn. Uh-huh.
So they had a when I first came, this was like a class, and it was just him and the rabbi. Maybe one other older gentleman that's there. And this guy's name is Jordan Rockowitz. He unfortunately passed away randomly one Shabbos out of nowhere. Young guy, about my age, nowhere. Just fell, and they couldn't even move him until after Shabbos. It was like tragic. But before he passed away, he told me, if I ever had to go to a deserted island and I had one book to take, it'd be this one. And I sat there like for the last year after he passed, just looking at it on the shelf in the shul, saying, one day I'll get around to reading it. One day. So I decided to stop waiting, and I went to the rabbi, like, you have like 5 copies. Can I borrow one? He goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. Rabbi Newport, he's amazing. He's like, yeah, sure, take it. So I took it home, and I've been reading it, I'm like plowing through this thing, and I'm like, what is great, because like all these anxieties we have about things and now, work, finances, this and that, literally it just takes it, it's like let go and let God. And one of the rabbis in Fairlawn, I go to a few different shuls there, depending on how I'm feeling that week or who's hosting me or for any number of reasons. So one of the rabbis there was like, bitachon is really about doing a trust fall and letting God catch you, and saying, and there's a guy many years ago who was he was a Rothschild, like a very wealthy family. You may have heard of them. They're the reasons why
I've heard of them.
The reasons why everyone hates the Jews. No, so he was like,
Like they create the weather.
he said, if you wanna run with the big dogs, you can't be scared of the tall grass. It's a very deep metaphor. The way I understood it is like, you're this little chihuahua, and we're running through the field. There's big tall. You can't really see what's over, but you hear the big dogs with you. You hear the, they're like the trampling of their feet. You know they're there. You can't necessarily see what's going on their side, but don't worry, they got your back. You're good. They're not going to let anything happen to you. Sometimes you got to worry more about the chihuahua, but it's another story.
That's a Rothschild line? That's a great line.
I don't know if it's a Rothschild line. I heard it from a Rothschild. Maybe he stole it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You don't hear too many Rothschilds making lines.
Put that one in the bank.
Put it in the bank.
Exactly.
He's like, that line made me $17 trillion.
Maybe.
Did he say it like this? Like
No.
All right, fine. I'm just
Actually, nice guy. Anyway, so he had a. So it was a good expression. It's like to sum up, like how firmly we have to believe that we're going to be okay, and it's the belief of it that not even just belief. They say like emunah is belief. Bitachon is knowing that. Let's say I lost my job. The only reason this happened is because around the corner there's a better job waiting for me, and it took that to kick me in the pants to get out and go take it. Hashem wants me to move somewhere. Whatever it is, like make a move. You're not gonna move. I'm going to make something happen. That you're going to make the move anyway. Just whatever. But you have to know that I have your best intentions.
So
in mind.
the difference between bitachon and emunah is belief, and bitachon is knowing.
Emunah is like I believe in God.
Right.
I believe in God, but bitachon is it's in the bag. You don't even have to. It's not even about belief in God. It's about the fact that I know God has always had my back, even when things were tough and it put me under pressure. That in hindsight, all this pressure caused me to grow in such a way that I am where I am now. It would have never happened had that happened. And I know that's just Hashem directing the steps of man, like we say every morning. Hamichin mitzadei gaver is one of the brachas. God directs the steps of man. Now, sometimes we move on our own in that direction. Sometimes they kick in the pants. But the bitachon is knowing that even the kick in the pants is really a good boy, like, I got you. Don't worry. It's going to be all right. And so a lot of songs in here were that. We're saying, like, don't worry about it. This is crazy. The world's messed up. Like, all these guys are going to be like, there's one song called, God.
Okay, we got to look.
The problem I have is long titles earlier.
Either talking to the mic. Talking to the mic.
Yeah, sorry. It's
Take
called,
it with you.
The won't give up my faith for no one, and it's got like this kind of.
You gotta put it back up.
And one of these like banjo-y kind of
Holy Outlaws.
Holy
guys.
Outlaws.
What's it
Volume
called?
1.
Won't give up my faith to no one.
Important to say volume 1 because I cut 5 songs from this one, so I'm already like halfway through volume 2.
Wait, that's a double negative, bro.
No, it's volume 1 because there's already a volume 2 in the making. There's 10 songs on here. I was gonna put 15 like on my last album, and I'm like, no. These are all really good songs. Save some for the next one, Like, don't like franchise this if it's gonna be a big success. So
Did you save some?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just telling you this title, but while you tell us what it is, has a double negative.
Which one? Ain't got? Yeah, I know.
Won't give up my faith for no one.
Well, and so does ain't no higher power than Hashem.
Yeah, what's the deal, bro?
Listen, it's the South. That's how they do in the
That's
South.
how they do it.
A lot of people don't know this, but my mother was a Southern girl. She's from, she was a cattle farmer's daughter. And she was born in West Virginia, and they grew up in Bel Air, Maryland, and they had a farm. And my mom converted when she was very young, like in college. And my grandparents sounded like this.
Really?
Yeah, they're total hillbillies, like in the best, nicest way. Like they were like sweet, hardworking Americans.
What'd you call them?
Mom, and pop.
Mom, and pop?
Yeah. That's how they call them out there.
I want to be pop.
Yeah.
I thought it was Meemaw.
Depending, guess where you are.
Right. Which hill you're on.
Yeah. So they were very like a faith-based community, Methodist. Went to church every Sunday, kind of thing. But also like, they worked really hard. They raised cattle. My grandfather was up at 5 a.m. and he sounded like a farmer. He sounded like a hillbilly, and so the accent to me was very familiar to begin with. But to get it well enough to actually do it, I had to like practice talking that way full time for a few months, to the point where my wife and kids wanted to hang me at high noon. But whatever, did the job.
You went into character?
It's like accent training, yeah.
Holy cow.
And it's...
Dude, method is scary. Lucky you got out.
Yeah, you got it. It's a whole different persona for me. Like when I did a reggae song, I put on a slight reggae accent. I'm going to do a southern song. I'm going to do a southern. I'm not going to sound like I'm from Lakewood. It never sound like a country rock song if I did it that way. It would just sound like a Lakewood rock song. So I did it, and I was very proud of it, because at the end of the day, it was authentic. And most importantly, like the genre is big enough to accommodate Jews too. It's not like we have to limit it to Christians. You know, Hindus and Buddhists can probably make a country rock song if they wanted to about whatever their faith. But I did it specifically because so many of the underlying messages and values of these two cultures are so aligned. You know, God, family, hard work, study, the Bible, all these things, prayer, these are all things that they really grow up on and they find very, very important. So do we.
Right.
So if they're singing it about a Jew, why can't I sing it about Hashem? You know, Hashem.
Hashem. That's amazing.
Hashem.
Well, when I first got married, I traveled. This is what we did for our honeymoon, because I had $2,700. That's how much money I had, and I was unemployed.
Stop bragging, okay?
So I bought a car for $700. Right. So that's why I knew I had $2,700, because I had $2,000 left.
Okay.
That's how I knew.
What was the price of gas back then?
Dude,
$2,000.
I hit California. It was the first state that I hit that was over $2 a gas.
Wow.
So we were all right with the gas. The gas wasn't that bad. California was like, what? $2? It was like
that would be a really good price.
That's like $7.
That would be a really good price today, by the way.
Oh my gosh, $2 is great.
Like $8 in California.
Right. So now, it was like $1.20 the whole way. It was nice. That was good. Anyway, we stayed in the back of this car. Like that was our honeymoon. We did that for 6 weeks, and it was a station wagon. So we put the back,
the wooden panels.
I didn't have wooden panels. Okay. It was a newer one.
Okay, fine.
It was cooler than that. It was a Ford Taurus station wagon.
Okay.
Anyway, lots of great stories from that trip. But one of the things was that we had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 tapes with us. We didn't really plan it. And I know we had the Solomon Brothers. I remember we were listening to Solomon Brothers, and there was a couple other like Moshavi type of bands.
A lot of them are amazing.
But most of the time, we were playing country music. And I really had no experience with country music because we were driving the whole country.
That's what you got on the radio back there.
And that's what was on the radio. So I listened to country, and it touched my soul so much. Me and my wife were always laughing because some of the lyrics are downright hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I play my trombone. And you're like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying, you know? But there was, every single song has a story.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
In most songs, it's not an idea. There are ideas, but they're in a story.
Yeah, they're in a story.
Like this is the story of the gambler, and in the gambler, there's ideas. This is the story of the guy who lost his family, and then he discovered something, or he's a cowboy and he can't get the right girl because
folk music and country music. That's how they pass knowledge on, and not just there. I mean, historically, stories, and music just makes them easier to remember. Having a story to be told in the form of music is one of the ways that culture has passed information down from one to the next to the next. Look at, for example, Hasidic mises, like we say. You hear the stories of the Rebbeim and this and that. Like every one of them are filled with lessons, filled with something. There's always a takeaway from one of these stories. Either is country music. Sometimes it's don't get caught, don't make your wife upset.
Yeah.
You know,
But they're lessons.
practical
through a story.
lessons. Practical lessons.
That's how you teach.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that we never had a way to pass anything on
Yeah.
besides for stories. That's all we had. It was always storytellers. So when I was listening to country music, I'm like, oh, these are the storytellers. And then you listen to other music, like even Jewish music, it's like you pick a line of Tehillim and then you're singing it. I'm like, what's the story? How is this hooking me? The tune is, I also have this interesting theory with talk to my son about this, but we haven't really figured it out. But every single nursery rhyme, there's a code in it that for some reason it's made it this far. This is a theory of mine. that
You mean like how?
why would Ring Around the Rosie still be around? It's I don't know, hundreds of years old. Why did this one stay? There's been hundreds of thousands of songs,
right?
And then certain ones just stay. And I believe that something in our DNA is like there's real truth in here.
Activates a memory gene or something.
And we have to get it. So
save this to the hard drive.
Right. If you can think of any one of these silly rhymes.
Well, a lot of them are also like fairly modern. Like if you think about it, like I think Ring Around the Rosie was about some like a disease outbreak in Europe. I don't know if it was tuberculosis or they were a pocket full of posies was something they would do to cover up the
I thought it was the Black Plague.
No, it was to cover up the smell of the dead.
Right. We're
And then
talking
there's
1300s.
London bridges falling down is another one. It happened, I think it's World War II or something.
Right.
World War
Why
I,
do
World
we
War
still
II, right.
sing that song? There's so many of these songs. It's got to be. I would love to put it all into AI and be like, what are the codes?
Analyze this and find out what makes it work.
What's the code here? Because So
It's a good hook. Also, one of the reasons I think why, just to circle back for a sec to this album, like on the same note that what you're saying, one of the reasons why I think people liked the songs on here more than they liked my previous work is because I was watching some songwriting workshops and things like that, and I subscribed to a few people that like online that kind of teach musicians like better ways of doing things, songwriters have better ways of doing things. And most recently, before I started writing this album, I was watching one from one of these guys, and he said, every single part of your song needs to be treated like a hook. You can't look at like, I'm going to get only 2 really good lines everyone's going to remember, and everything else is going to be like a step towards it.
What's a hook? What's a hook?
A hook is that part you remember from the song. It hooks you.
Okay.
Like it has to be a catchy lyric that's like, oh, that's a good lyric. It can't be like in Judaism, the concept of, oh, it's good enough. Up until now, that may have worked, for me at least.
Right.
This album, like every single song, every point of the song has to be its own hook. The next one's just another hook. And it can't be treated as anything other than that. If it doesn't sound hooky throughout, scrap it. And a lot of songs were scrapped. The ones I kept for the next album aren't the ones I'm talking about now.
Right.
There was a lot that just didn't make the cut. And I felt like one of the reasons that people took to it well was because if you're making a song that magnetic and with the intention that every single part has to be the main part, you don't really know if it's a chorus or the verse that's really going to get somebody in, but each one of them has to hit that way, then what are the chances? You're tripling and quadrupling your chances of it doing better because you have a hook for a pre-chorus, you have a hook for a bridge, you have a hook for a verse, you have a hook for a verse 1, another hook for verse 2, a hook for an outro. Each song now has 6 hooks.
Right.
Imagine you go fishing with 6 hooks.
You know I like that.
You know what I mean?
I didn't see that one coming. Like, I got lots of hooks.
Yeah, right. So that's what I mean. There are people that do that. I fish. I'm saying there are people that string up a line. With
That's where hook comes from.
Yeah, of
From
course.
fishing analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
Well, I will tell you, there's raised. I'm one of them. You in that song with the iron.
Forged with steel and
Forged with steel, raised beneath the Iron Dome.
I was raised in the shadow of the Iron Dome.
That was a hook, bro.
Where a child learns early the price of home. That's a powerful song.
That's such a powerful song.
Yeah. I like that line a lot.
You definitely, I will say, I don't know if you did this already, but you definitely should put that to like the last 2-year war. Like that whole song, if you ever get time.
I sent this song out to my brother-in-law who was driving a tank for the IDF during this time. He's like, dude, that's a cool song. And he actually once played a song of mine in a tank while rolling in on Gaza. Not this one.
Okay.
Another one called Burn Rubber, which is kind of like a heavy rock song with, which like, yeah. I can't even scream. I lost my voice over Simple Guitar. Like really like scream rock type of stuff. And I was like, and what happened? I put it out saying, you know what? I wish, I put it on my Facebook, I wish somebody would play one of my songs while rolling in on Gaza after this. That would just make, and my wife saw the message that I posted, and she sends it to her brother, and his brother's like, I got you. I was like, yes.
Did he video it?
He didn't. No, he couldn't. It's not allowed to. Whatever.
You're not allowed to.
Can't give away the position, but it was like, I was like, okay, cool. And this one he liked. Like it gave him whatever. It gave him chizuk, and it made him feel like whatever. Thank God he's still alive.
Thank God.
Better than some can say. We lost a lot of people, but it was right time, right place for that song. The rest of the ones, it was really kind of a lot of them came from different places. One of them was a song about his Baididus, like the concept of going out and just talking to God. And to me, like when I was going through really, really tough times, davening in shul in Hebrew didn't always speak to me. Like I'd say the words, I don't necessarily always know what they mean. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But when you can take the time and really just, go out and just pour your heart out and like have a conversation and even though it feels like you're talking to the wall sometimes, but you get a lot off your chest and you just clear your mind and you just let things that are bottled up flow up, and it's extremely healing. And there's a song that was in there that was probably like the least rock of all the songs on this whole album. It was called Just Me and the One Above.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot. I wanted to give like this cinematic almost atmosphere of like you alone at a campfire, just with nothing else around but crickets and just pouring it out, And to me, it was like the ballad on the album. It's two ballads actually. There's another one called that a lot of people liked, called "Guard the Ones I Die For." And it was like, "Guard the ones I die for."
Yeah.
Pick the worst day to come.
I'm not gonna make you sing. Last time I made you sing.
But well, you can put little segments you want to play in post, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So this song, I got messages from people, not just in my community, but from all over. Like they from even outside the community I live in. There was like, I could tell you wrote this about your kids, but I'll let you know a little secret. I'm sure the parents of the soldiers and everybody are also like singing these lyrics to themselves. And I'm looking at the stats. A lot of people in Israel listening to this. A lot of people from all over were listening to this. It freaked me out how many countries were streaming. The stats, the analytics that Spotify gives you is phenomenal.
It's cool.
Mainly United States for obvious reasons because English-speaking Jews are here. But then there's Canada, there's Israel. We're next, two really close. Australia, New Zealand, South America, like all over Europe. It was like some people in South Africa, in different countries in Africa. It was weird.
That's wild.
There's Jewish communities, even not probably.
But you never had this with your other music.
I've had them streamed elsewhere, but not to the degree that I got with this one. I mean,
my thinking is this is the most authentic I've heard you sound. Like this is incredible. But is that what you're feeling also?
I feel it. Yeah, I liked it, and I liked the messages of it, and the strength that I got from writing it, and the strength that I gave people from listening to it. Like I think came at the right time. There's also a lot of it's just timing. Right time, right place. If I put out this album 10 years ago, people would be like, okay, maybe 20 years ago. Like, okay, what's the big deal? But today with the climate in Israel and the climate between us and how we're feeling as Jews and everything, and like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like when we're isolated away from the rest of the world, we're like this target that everybody's just throwing rotten tomatoes at.
Right.
Like all we have is God left at the end of the day. And we need to feel that. We need to like channel that energy, because at the end of the day, there's one lyric in here. It said, "Hashem's on my team. I'd hate to be them." I like that lyric.
Yeah,
that was a good lyric. It's like, you guys, who do you think you're up against? You think it's us defending us? Yeah, we got to do what we got to do. But at the end of the day, do you think it's really us defending us? You're going up against the creator of the universe. Not just Earth, the universe of all worlds. It's kind of like a Tyson with a baby ant. Not even. It's even a terrible comparison because even that's limiting. So it was the right time, right place where people needed to hear songs of encouragement and strength and have courage and be brave and don't shy away. Don't tuck your tzitzis in because you're walking in New York City and a bunch of who cares? My rabbi, right after October 7th, was like, you know what? Challenge all you guys. Everybody's covering the mezuzahs up, and some rabbis saying it's okay. I challenge you all. Put your tzitzis out. Put your yarmulke on your head. Walk outside with them flying out behind you, and shamelessly and courageously show that you're a Jew. You never know who you're going to affect.
Right.
You never know. There's a famous story of a Holocaust survivor. It was a lady, an elderly lady, that left the war and she moved somewhere into France.
Just an A.B. Rottenberg song. No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
no, it's actually not.
I'm just playing with you.
No, it's not. No.
Teardrop.
1 room apartment. I know what you're talking about. It wasn't her. No, this is France. It wasn't like it wasn't in the.
How cool is I got him on, by the way.
So cool. Very cool.
It was very cool.
I'm happy he made it. He has relatives in Muncie, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
Daughters, yeah.
But the
okay, Holocaust survivor.
You're welcome for making that shit too, by the way.
What?
I said you're welcome for making that shit up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you
no,
again.
No, that's fine. You don't have to. She was watching decades after the war, two Chabad Bachram with a hat and a jacket walking in the street. And she dropped everything for decades. She didn't do a thing religiously at all. And then somehow that just activated her. It's the fact that she saw Jews proudly walking the street dressed like a Jew. And she wrote into the Lubavitcher Rebbe and said, by the way, I want you to know that I saw two of your students, whatever, from the yeshiva walking the street. And I don't know if she started keeping Shabbos or keeping kosher or something, but that led her back. And the amazing concept is that the distance to tshuva is just one step in the other direction, you know, and you never know, but wearing your tzitzis out, like whether or not you're showing, first of all, we're strong enough and courageous enough to do it on our own, but who else you might affect? You might affect 10 people in the street that are closet Jews, you know?
Yeah.
To me, it was like, you know, many people decided to all of a sudden convert to Judaism after October 7th? And people,
is that true?
Yeah. The amount of people, you think that, first of all, Rabbi Markowitz in Shomer Torah in Fairlawn said that if you think that after an event like that happened, the worst tragedy since the Holocaust, that people would be doing Aliyah less. That year, there was a 400% increase in Aliyah applications.
Yeah.
It's completely counterintuitive. But that's just how we are. Oh, you push us this way? We're going to take 4 steps in that direction.
I want to talk about Our Village Women's Home. Our Village is a sober living community in Pomona, New York. And a lot of people mistakenly believe that it's like this is like a regular, like halfway house. It is not. It is a full-blown community where you are embraced and loved and cared about and cared for. And they will literally do anything to help you move forward. It is the safest and most wonderful place to come and get your way through the recovery. They help you in every single way. Our Village is everything you need to help you get through the most difficult time of your life, early recovery. And it helps you transition into an independent, amazing life. And we believe in Our Village that everybody has the potential to be their amazing self. And the people that come are awesome. The staff is awesome. You definitely want to get in touch with them. It's ourvillageny.org. Reach out and you'll find out all about it. It's also crazy because my wife says to me, every time something bad happens in America or we hear about in England or whatever craziness that's going on in the world, which is
it's nuts.
So crazy.
Yeah.
It's just wild. She's like, we got to go to Israel. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Israel's being blown up right now. Like everybody hates
Israel's
Israel.
doing the blowing up right now.
But there's something in us as a people. We're like, that's the safest place to be.
Well, it was established for that reason, for when the world becomes like this again, and it will, that we have a place to go. That's really like the definition of a Zionist. As much as like Ben Gurion and everybody else had other ideas for the country, but essentially at its core, what Israel was supposed to be is a safe place that the Jewish people can call home. And that's why I hate when these people go, oh, you're a filthy Zionist pig. Do you even know what a Zionist is? Half these people, I tell them, what is the definition of a Zionist? Oh, they're genocidal baby killers. I'm like, no, that's your opinion of them. Well, what is the definition of it? What does it take for me to become, what belief system do I have to be a Zionist? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, Zion is another word for the land of Israel. It means someone that has the belief system that the land of Israel is a land for Israel, for the children of Israel, which is us.
Right.
Oh, you're European Jews, or Khazars.
Well, I have a thing that I heard a couple other people say this, but it's a thought I had, which was that I really dislike the word Zionism, because I heard someone say something like this, which was like when you're about to have a baby and you're deciding, should we abort this baby? So whatever, we don't do abortions necessarily, but you kind of have a choice. You got 2-3 weeks, you got a choice to abort the baby. You don't have a choice after the baby's around for 70 years. Right. The reason that it bothers
no such
me.
Thing as like such
what do you mean Zionism? It's
late term abortions, right? It's the late term abortions. They say like if your kid's dropping out of medical school, are you allowed to do a late term abortion? No. But you're right. Yeah, we've been here for 70 years already. Back off.
I'm like, this is our country.
Yeah.
If you want to discuss how we're doing things, you're fighting, but like, I feel like keeping the word Zionism. Zionism was a movement to make the country.
The country's here now. Now it's called Israel. Right?
And we're still discussing, should you exist? What other country are we saying, should we exist?
Well, they wanted us in Zimbabwe or somewhere in Africa at one point. Like, dude, why would we? Why would we go there? Uganda. Yeah, sorry, Uganda. Sorry, right. Terrible.
But that was us who wanted us there. It was Herzl who was like,
Herzl is not us. He does not speak for us.
Okay, but because his idea was let's find a safe place.
No Jew would have accepted Uganda as the land of Israel. Like that land is ancient. We're talking about a land where the giants died. To quote one of my lyrics, when I walk and how does it go again? Like. And I plant my feet where the giants died. The giants of the land of Canaan that we took over. This is who ran this place before we got there. And God gave their lives to us. And basically we took over.
Right.
It was our promised land. And the reason the giants wanted it was because the giants were the children of the like in Braces, they can say the Bnei Elohim. Like these were guys of incredible intellectual and spiritual and metaphysical advanced knowledge that we can't even understand. And one of the reasons the Meraglim said, we don't know if we can take them, like they're saying that they're greater than us. They meant like they know more than we do. We're still primitive compared to what they do. But they knew the holiness of this land. Why do you think they all gravitated towards it?
Right.
Nobody could stop them because they took that place specifically because there was a spiritual energy there that doesn't exist anywhere else. Period.
Are you having conversations with these anti-Zionists? Do you get
I
into
troll them all the time. I love trolling.
Really?
I want to make a bot that just writes every time they write free Palestine, I want to write free parking.
Free parking.
I don't know. I want to make like a bot so it'll save me a lot of time. Like anytime someone does that, like, they engage, they make threats, they whatever. I have my block list went like 6,000% more since October 7th.
I have a funny thing. For a while back then, I was really talking about like people not giving gets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got very involved. Not very involved, but like as involved as I get. Usually I'm talking about things, but like activists is not so much my thing. So people started sending in all this like nasty stuff about the, like the anti-giving gets group. I don't even know who these guys are. But I started writing to everybody. To a certain point, I asked other people to do it for me because it was making me look bad. But I was like, every time someone said something nasty about giving a get, we would write, give your wife a get.
So nice.
Just give you whatever get. And they were like, she don't deserve it. Like
A lot of people don't know this, but a woman can also refuse to receive your get.
that is true.
It's the same. Like it's, I remember when I got divorced, my Rev was like, you should get a lawyer to come with you to work out some agreement. You all guys can agree at the time of the giving of the get. That's the best way to do it.
That was the plan.
Brilliant information that I wish I took. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, everybody is happily remarried.
Right.
And everybody has new kids, and everybody. And then at the end, remember I said bitachon, like it was a dark time in my life. I was right after my mother died, and I didn't know what was going on. Like it was COVID just started on top of that. Like the world literally went nuts as they can get. Like up until that point,
we
now
thought
it's
so.
crazier. And I was like, how is it going to get better? Like I literally feel like I'm falling apart. Like everything, my life is coming around. Like my lulav this year, I went to shul. My lulav, the first time I shake it in halal, whoosh, the spine just snaps down the middle.
No way.
And I'm like, that's what my life felt like. Like what am I going to do now? It's sukkahs. Like I didn't go get another lulav. Some guy in shul right next to me was from LA. He's like, yeah, I'm going flying back right after you. I have to take my lulav. It's fine. Everything worked. Even then, something worked out. And there's a nicer lulav than me. A little bitachon. Hashem wants you to have a nicer lulav. So just, he's making this one break. He wants you to have a nicer life. So, sometimes you have to give a get. You have to have a little bitachon. Even if you give a get, it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. It's
going to be all
You
right.
really like this sharp talking is really, this is a shift in you, or you always kind of felt this way?
It's something I had to live by because I didn't have any much else to work to run on. Like, to quote my Bon Jovi's greatest hits CD, "Living on a Prayer." It's kind of like good example. Like when I moved to Muncie from Canada, so I was working for a company, and I was making a little too much to qualify for free healthcare, but not enough to be able to afford the stuff if you want it for yourself.
Right.
And I was for 8 years. I was like living on a prayer, like praying to God I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick for 8 years. I was fine, I got out of health insurance, but for a long time, like I just had nothing else to run on. Like I didn't have parents. My parents were long gone.
Right.
They didn't leave me with anything really. They gave me music and a good last name that opened a few doors for me. But like we didn't come from means. We didn't come from whatever. We got by with whatever. We work hard. We try to do whatever we can. We learn as we go, make mistakes, learn from them. But that's what I've been running on with, and bitachon's been a big part of my life. It's gotten even bigger lately.
I'm saying, is that connected to the Sefer, connected to the times, connected to?
Yeah, you need it
Because it's all over this CD.
It is all over the CD, but I think just as a Jew, it's an essential nutrient. Like if you don't have it, it's like you're lacking in vitamin C and calcium and everything. It's like it's a spiritual essential nutrient. Like if you want to be a Jew, you have to have this. It's like you can technically and halachically be a Jew without it, but how you live, how do you manage to get from day to day without like knowing that Hashem's going to have your back? Because logically, none of us would stay Jewish if was not a concept of bitachon. Like imagine that we realize that everyone wants to kill us all the time, and we're not going to win in the end. Imagine that's going to be our belief system. How do you survive that? You think your home has a lot of addicts? Now imagine how many addicts we'd have if everybody believed that it's all over.
It's all
every minute, every day.
They all do.
Many people do, unfortunately.
Well, I'm saying with the addicts, they all believe it's not going to work out. That's why the first 3 steps is God wants to save you.
Yeah.
You have an issue, he could save you, and he wants to save you.
He needs you to want to save you also. Right.
So before you change yourself, this is something that people don't really get with the 12 steps, is that it is unconditional love. Because before you even start getting better, doing anything, like we grew up with this idea, like if you wash your hands in the morning, Hashem loves you.
It's transactional.
Yeah, it's very transactional.
It's not transactional.
So in the 12 steps, it's like when you talk about bitachon as it's so close to the recovery work that I'm doing. Like it's so close because I can't move forward unless I believe that there's a rock behind me, and that rock lives within me, and it's pushing me forward.
Yeah.
And addicts who try, because I'm just going to go a little further, because addiction is the seeking out of connection. That's what it is. It's what people see it as like this. I had this thing I said the other day. If someone says the word taiva in explaining someone who's dealing with addiction, they don't understand addiction.
No.
They just don't understand. The word taiva comes out. It's not. I mean, someone said to me the other day. This is gonna be a little. I don't know. It's controversial, but someone said to me the other day. I understand sex addiction because I love sex. Okay. So like that one makes sense. But the other ones, they don't make. I can see getting. I said, you don't understand sex addiction because a person who is addicted to sex, he has not enjoyed sex since he's a kid.
Wow.
He's not enjoying it. This is his only way to survive. He's ruining every relationship he ever had. He can't get genuinely intimate with anybody. It's a transaction of I'm going to use you until I feel better, and none of it works. And so to understand it's a seeking of spirituality. The idea of addiction is a spiritual pursuit. I wish you did a country song about this.
Why Jacobson had a I used to go to a lot when I was in Muncie. Still a very big fan of. So he once gave a talk talking about addicts. I was in a sukkah actually. It was not that around this time of year, not long ago. And I came there to do he asked if I can play some music for Simchas Beis HaShoeva for bring-in, whatever.
All right.
And after 3 or 4 or 5 songs, he goes, play something that sounds a little more Jewish. So besides the point. But while he was there, he was talking about Dr. Rabbi Avram Twersky, I think. He worked a lot with addicts.
Yes.
Right.
He's the legend.
So he was a...
Abraham J.
Yeah. So he brought him up and he started talking about different things that he mentioned. It's not, but at one point, Rabbi Jacobson said, I've met addicts. I'll tell you, some of these guys are the most spiritual people I've ever met in your life. And you'd be so surprised. It's like this constant, they're so spiritually sensitive that davening doesn't even do it for them anymore. That they have to learn a better way to do. They're craving something, a much higher closeness, a more elevated state of consciousness, or something that makes them feel closer. And it makes sense. It makes sense. There's a certain point that you feel like you plateau. And at that point, you're like, if I'm stagnant, I'm not moving forward. You feel like you're failing in life,
Right.
For me, I got really into meditation. That really did it for me. I was able to do really woo-woo deep stuff.
Nice.
It took years to train that way. And I remember I was wake up at 4 a.m. I was in Chestnut Ridge living by myself when I was separated. We had a little shtibel with a mikvah down the street. I'd go to the mikvah, come home, I'd say my bracha, I'd meditate for 2 hours before I even got up to go to shul. And I remember one time I did, it was Yom Kippur. And I thought I was being such a holy Jew on Yom Kippur. And I go to the mikvah, I come back, and I told my guy, I got to shul. I felt like I was on this most ecstatic state of my life. The energy of the day and the energy of everything. And my friend's like, you went to the mikvah on Yom Kippur? You mamzer. You're not allowed to do that. I'm like, no, nobody was there to tell me not to go. I thought you're allowed.
Is that true? You're not allowed?
Apparently you're not.
Why is it?
Well, whatever, but
because you can't wash your
knuckles.
Right.
Whatever, but I did the wrong thing for the right reason at the end of the day. But I had the most craziest Yom Kippur that my davening was on such another level. I did I was able during those few hours to silence my mind almost the entire time, and every memory of anything I've ever done practically up until that point that crossed the line, I was able to recall and repent for in that moment. At least every major thing. I'm sure there's little things, I forgot I said the wrong bracha on this and that. Probably I didn't catch all those. But I'd be I came out feeling like amazing, amazingly close. You ever have, let's say, a fight with a family member or your wife or whatever, and you finally guys have a long talk about where it came from, and you really, really understand each other after the year. There's even this closeness than you had before the fight ever started, any of that stuff. That's what it felt like. And if some people can have the patience and the time to put in the work and train themselves to sit for that long quietly, and other people, they get there synthetically or whatever it is. And I understand like why some people take shortcuts. Like I had a friend of mine who was an addict many, many years ago, and he had a conflict in his life. He was he was like a Moroccan Sephardi Jew, and these guys like they can one day be like doing the craziest things you never imagined. Next day they're like in shul davening like with such a slavos, and like they're like pictures of tzaddikim all over their house and everything. Friend of mine who knows him told me this guy flipped back and forth like to such extremes. You have no idea. Like I told him that it's a segula to have righteous children. If you bring out a picture of the Rebbe when the baby's born, you know, you show it to him first thing, a picture of a tzaddik.
Right.
So he comes running into the living room with like a 46-inch, sticks it right back. As the baby's coming out, like, look! You know, but this guy went to the Tasha Rebbe many years ago. What was his thing? This guy liked to go to after hours clubs. He's like to pop ecstasy and dance with shiksas and whatever. Meanwhile, he was like, you know, he had a double life. And he was, and so he went to the Tasha Rebbe and asked him, he's like, you know, like when I'm taking this thing, I feel like I'm an angel. Like everything feels like super sensitive around me. Like I can pick up on people's emotions. I can hear music. Like everything is like streaming different tracks all at the same time, but as if I'm listening to 10 different songs all at once. And it's like he's explaining things in like fifth dimensional reality, but to a third dimensional person. So what's the problem? Is there a problem if I take this thing, this pill? So he tells him, Tasha Rebbe, all of a sudden told him, like, what gives you the right to pay $20 or $30 or whatever and buy a pill that you can take that makes you feel the way a tzaddik felt after staying up 3 days without sleeping and learning Gemara nonstop? Because that's what it takes for me to reach that state. He said, why you're asking me if you're taking a shortcut like that without putting in the work? Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work, but you can get there. Is what he's trying to tell you. You can get there. You can get there on your own. You just have to have the Sitzfleisch to do
right.
it.
It's so interesting because,
you know,
I would tell you it sounds like such a dumb question, but one of the questions I really struggled with for a while is why doesn't drugs work? Meaning I started understanding what it's doing for us, like this way this guy explains it. What it's doing for us is it's actually filling us with connectedness, and like we're going to a place where everything feels all right. It's fine. We feel loved. We feel special. We feel all right. And that's where we're going. So why doesn't that just stick? And then we're doing all right. Like the Tasha Rebbe is like,
because it wears off.
You 20, $30. So for
they
a long time.
They never make a business out of it if they only had to take it once.
Yeah, because the idea is, like what you said, bitachon, the way it is that I know. The idea is that the core of every addiction, now I must have said this a million times, but the core of every addiction is really feeling unlovable. Like there's nothing about me that's lovable. So the second I know I'm lovable, addiction's over. People like, it's weird that I could say this, that you could snap your fingers. If you could change your mind and all your schemas change to I am lovable, there will be no more addiction. Yeah. It's not about a physical connection to the substance.
It's a reality shift for you.
It's just a reality shift. Yeah. The problem is it takes us 10 years to get there. It takes us work to get to that place. When you do drugs, you're connected. You get connected, but it's fake.
Yeah, you're not you feel connected.
Right. You're feeling it, but you're not. Yeah. So what I realize is that you need is an autonomous being choosing you and saying, I love you. Right. When you know that,
sure. That's one reason I like to say for Sharby Talking is literally, I'm not even halfway through it yet, but I'll tell you, like, I don't know if you've read it yet or not, but
I have not.
I would highly recommend checking it out as maybe.
I know Gedalia Fenstra, I had him on. He's very
supplementary reading material for people that suffering with addiction. It is phenomenally well written. There's one that's written called the Felig edition. It's got like a white cover. It's written with English, with little commentaries and things like that. It's very, very easy to read and formatted, not like a long book. It feels like it's skimmable and different things. And it's just mind-blowing, like mentality shift from page to page in such a good way. And like I think maybe there's a reason why I read it just recently, and then coming on here.
It sounds like you're volunteering to come to my sober homes to teach my guys.
You know what?
That's what it sounds like.
I have to read the whole thing first. I'll do it. I'll take you up on it.
That's what it sounds
let me learn it first and really know it. Then I'll definitely take you up.
Learn it with them, bro.
Yeah, I would. I think it would help. I think it's something that's it's helping me. Like I'm going through something right now where I need a little bitachon boost, and I just happen to see it on the shelf, and I'm taking it. And I'm like, it's incredible. It's like it's exactly what I need to hear at exactly the right time to make me feel like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Like everything was always all right in hindsight.
Right.
So why is today gonna be different? Did God change? No. Same God. He actually loves you more now because you're a bigger mensch than you used to be. By a small margin, maybe a big margin. So hopefully in time, like you'll realize that like there's no reason to feel like God's up and quitting on us. He's not going on vacation. He's holding you like that. He can take care of the universe. You think he can't take care of you?
Is that how the book reads?
Yeah. It's so.
Because there's somebody named. My wife is gonna kill me. There's a guy who's a Sephardi guy who has like this WhatsApp group every single day. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he just does Shar Bitachon, and he's like, "What, you a dummy? What, you just Hashem loves you? If you just you care about money, this, that." He's amazing.
Oh, I go check it out.
I wish I could have it. I'll try to
find the link. Send me a link.
I'll get you the link to that. All right. No, I don't know how to ask you. I'm trying to figure out how to ask you what I felt. I felt listening to this music what I felt was that you found yourself. Like that there's now I'm just judging from listening to music, and it sounded like you worked hard, but you weren't trying. I don't know how to say trying, meaning you were trying, but a lot of the old stuff you were doing, you were like trying to be something, trying to find your place in it.
I was trying everything until I found something that felt 100% right.
Yeah.
It's like people that like switch their careers 3, 4, 5 times throughout their life until they find something that really speaks to them, that's meaningful or whatever. And it's finding a sound for an artist is not an easy thing. Some people are smart enough that on the get-go they say, I'm going to be this and this type of artist. I went in saying, my dad was an eclectic artist. He put out albums with a lot of different styles in it. I probably can do the same type of thing, and whatever. My last name helps as well. Some people recognize it, some people don't. And I realized that at the end of the day, even though he did play around with a lot of those things, he got known as a specific type of country western, Jewish folky kind of thing. And kind of like Jewish folk rock almost, or Jewish folk, country folk, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And he had a sound. Like, my issue was that my sound was not very predictable. Like, I'd go from doing a flamenco song to doing a Chabad nigun, or instrumentally.
Right.
Then a Hebrew Sephardic sounding, Zmiros in the Spanish style, and then I had to have like a rock song with a collab with some Israeli guy about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. I'm like, who's my niche? Who's my micro niche? I know that my niche has always been like the same type of niche that my father catered to, which were the people that grew up speaking English, Bal Tshuva, Kiruv organizations, people that didn't necessarily do the best in yeshiva, but they still feel like they're connected and they want to have something meaningful that speaks to them. And the way A.B. got into writing English music was very much in a similar type of fashion. I think I said the story in the last one, so I'm not going to bore everybody with it.
Being bored. Nobody listened to the last one.
But the
no, I'm kidding.
So
it's a whole new
he was
crowd.
at one of these Kiruv organizations where he did a lot of these like Dvekas concerts, and he always had a few like yeshivish people peppered in the audience that knew the songs, and they would sing and get everybody comfortable enough. And at the end, the people that didn't speak Hebrew, that didn't grow up from or anything like that, would feel like they had a nice Jewish experience. And one time, he was at an event, and there was nobody like this in the audience. Everybody had no idea what the sound of the music was talking about and what the words were talking about. And it was very awkward. And I might be like not getting all the exact details right, but he eventually told his friend after the show, like, that was like That was rough. You know, I wish somebody would write an American style, you know, English Jewish music that they really can relate to. And the guy goes, "Oh, you need to hear Magama. They just came out of Israel, this duo, and they're like the first from group to be signed by a secular record label, and like they were really hitting it, like in America especially." And he listened to this song, My Zadie, and he's like, "Wow, these guys are doing it. This is phenomenal." And he wound up writing a song, It's Time to Say Good Shabbos, like right after that. And that's where the journeys started. The whole series started. And it became the most iconic English series of albums. So I'm hoping at least with this, I can do something like a series, kind of like Destiny and like a Journey.
I love it.
Holy Outlaws. I even bought the holyoutlaws.com like thing.
I wonder if your father's name, you saying it helps, opens doors or whatever. I wonder if it's been a downside also, because like I'm telling you, this sound you have is not your father. Yes. This is you.
This is different.
So I wonder if like you've been like, has this been like a breakaway from your father in a certain sense?
Very much so. Not in the sense that I don't want anything to do with him. In that
sense,
yeah. But I feel like, and I'll have to give a little behind the scenes more context to the story to really properly answer it. So when my father passed away, his music, like CDs, weren't being distributed anywhere. Nobody had really digital copies other than his best friend, Shopsy Krevsky from Montreal, who sent me like these MP3s that he ripped on like some, you know, substandard equipment, let's call it. And that's all that we had. And so I built a website for him, and I put MP3 albums available for purchase. And nothing was on a streaming platform because, frankly, the quality of it was not great. And then about a year and a half ago, I've been collecting vinyl of his. I'm on this website called Discogs where you can buy vinyl. It's like the Amazon marketplace where different sellers can post up what they have in their catalog and they can sell it and whatever. And they can grade it. This is very good. This is mint. This is unopened. This is terrible. This is barely acceptable. Most of the Magama and Moshe stuff was in like unacceptable format. And I've been trying to take the digital stuff that I had and to with different softwares, even AI softwares, try to like correct the different noise that's happening in it and the crackles, and I can't. And I was getting so fed up because I spent money buying different programs to try to fix these things to get them, you know, market ready, let's call it. Meanwhile, people like they bought the albums. Like I'd sell quite a few every month, but they not a whole lot. But like, you know, people kept buying because they discovered someone actually has it. You can buy it. Okay, I'll get it. It's not the best quality, but Judaism is a concept of it's good enough. So about a year and a half ago, I reached out to this facility in California that does restoration. And I spoke to the guy. He's a really nice guy. And he was like, yeah, the best way really is to get the masters. I'm like, well, thank you, Einstein. The masters were lost in a fire. I wouldn't be calling you if I had the masters. You know? Captain Obvious, you know? Because, okay, so if you don't have a master, then the best option is to get an unopened mint copy of the record. I'm like, bro, I've been on a wish list for over 10 years on this platform waiting for mint unopened copies of these albums. They don't exist. I'm like, if they do, they're not showing up. No one's selling them. Like the people that play the hell out of these things. So he was like, okay, well, I'm saying, you asked my advice. This is what if they ever become available, reach out to me. I hung up with him. And maybe an hour later, I checked my email. 3 different sellers posted unopened mint copies of 3 different albums. Magama 1, Magama 2, and his first solo album.
No way.
I bought them right away. I couldn't believe my luck. I was like, I hit the Powerball twice in the same week. And I overnight them to this guy. And he got them digitally remastered in like the highest quality, better than CD quality audio, like 32-bit digital audio. Like CD is 16-bit. Wow. To give you an idea. And it has like a lot of like the analog warmth that you'd hear from a record. Like it had such really good like quality sound. They used really good equipment to do it. And I made like an HD high definition digital remaster of those 3 albums. I put them out now. Now they're available on Spotify and everywhere people can get them. And I had so many people message me going, thank thank you, thank you. Even the people that bought the albums, I had to individually email them a new download link of the new version. For everybody in the last 10 years that bought one, I had to like print up a spreadsheet and send out like one by one. Here's a new link for this. You can download it up to 20 times or whatever. And so I felt that after that miracle happened for me, for my father, for both of us, whatever, it was Hashem's way of saying, okay, now do you. You spent enough time trying to bring back to life the things that made countless balchuvas or since the beginning of his career. Now, give us Tali, yes, you know? And so I didn't really put out a lot of music since that happened. Maybe a single or two or whatever, just to stay relevant and niggin here and there. Did a collab, actually, with somebody, Eitan Shmuel Lieberman, who's a guy from Texas, who... like yeshiva bacher, must have been like 18. So it's another funny story about that. He has a song we just put out called Sunrise, which is also a really cool song. Not a country song, but he's like a Texan, so he definitely liked this album. Keeps messaging him saying, guess what we're blasting all the way over to Pittsburgh? I'm like, I don't know, let me guess. Holy Outlaws. He goes, yep.
That's awesome.
But he had a great, fantastic song.
This is called Sunrise?
It's called Sunrise. He wrote it about, he said it's about a friend who, sometimes you see friends making mistakes that they know they're going to regret and you can't stop them. And he's trying to tell them, like, you're really just messing up your relationship with Hashem. Like, you're going to have a lot of regrets later. Like, I wish you could stop, but, he'll always be there for you kind of vibes and message.
Oh, it's nice.
And great song. Phenomenal songwriter, very talented kid. So that other than that, like, I didn't really do much, like musically speaking, other than like work on this project. And this project is like, I really focused all my energy into one style, one sound, one set of rules, like, and make it as hooky as you can make, like 6 hooks per song if you can, and everything came together. And the timing was perfect for the first song release. And by the time that first song took off and everybody was playlisting it and everything, like the whole album came out and it made such a splash. Like even Nachum Siegel is like, I got to tell you, this is a fascinating collection of songs. I didn't want to discuss it until I get you on the show. It's like, okay, fine. So I went on a show and we discussed that. I remember I showed up in like my cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and like a bolo tie. He was like, what? I want to give the full effect,
Came in character.
Oh yeah, man, I came in character, and it was great. And I had just, thank God, so much tremendous feedback. I had people messaging me from flip phones. I could tell because it wasn't coming in on WhatsApp. So I know they were yeshiva bachram. Actually, this Sunday I got a crew of kids from the Mir Yeshiva in Brooklyn. They reached out to me and said, "Listen, we have a film crew that we make music videos. We want to do a music video for one of your songs." It's like, really? I was like, I'm a Jewish musician, right? I don't have a lot to offer you. It's like, no, don't worry. We're doing it. Don't worry about that. I was like, okay, cool. So we're actually going to Lakewood to a farm on Sunday to film a song.
Which song?
Film music video for "Won't Give Up My Faith for No One."
Nice.
But it's funny that the song that's actually being streamed the most right now on Spotify is the one called "This Chosen Soul Here Ain't Afraid." It's
Wait,
like,
which one is this?
"This chosen soul here ain't afraid."
Yeah.
It's like a headbanging, boot stomping music. It's like imagine a country mosh pit. That's what this song is.
Stream the most?
Yeah.
Dude, this...
by a factor of like 3 to 1.
No way.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I mean, Forge with Steel is like... I can't get
That's
over
a close
it.
second to third.
Yeah.
Forge with Steel.
Won't Give Up My Faith to Anyone is amazing.
Valley of Death is the second most. Yeah. I love that one. That one I was very proud of. And one of the songs on here that I think most proud of, was just because of his very creative songwriting, is called "Break That Bull." And "Break That Bull" is taking a concept in Tanya that we study about the Nefesh of Bahamas. You have the animal soul and the godly soul, the Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov, as it were. But explain it through the lens of a fearless rodeo cowboy getting into the ring with a nasty bull.
Awesome.
Who wants to kill him? And it is like I don't know, it's just tough as nails. it was like a cool sound, a cool concept. It's not necessarily the most streamed song, but I got a lot of people said, well, at least recently, there's Instagram influencer type that has a really nice page, does like cooking, things like that. So when Forged with Steel came out, she tagged me in this post while she's driving, and her son is like headbanging to Forged with Steel and wearing like a black hat and she's like looking at the camera like hashtag Bacher music. Anyway, so like just yesterday, she tagged me in a post saying we're listening to this as we're tearing down our sukkah, but the one with the bull. Yeah, cool. Okay, some people like it. But
you know, can I just tell you? I can't remember the name of the guy. You're gonna know it. That song, "Take Me to Church."
Yeah.
It very much you reminded me of him, but I can't
The
remember.
name's slipping me too, but I know the song.
I don't know. That was yeah. But it
I
has.
can't remember his name either, but I know what you're talking about.
You had some of that in there also. I don't know.
Where on which one?
No, just like
the
all
album.
the music. It had that. It was pulling you along. Like
It was soul. It was
you're
like
explaining the
emotional
hooks,
and
but like,
soulful, and it was like it was kind of like Teddy Swims, Chris Stapleton-ish vocalist style in some songs.
Yeah.
A lot of Bon Jovi, like cowboy movie rock themes and cinematic kind of like stage setting.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these songs, like
eagles screeching. Do you have eagles screeching at any point?
No, but I have a lot of cool sound effects in
have
these
cool.
things. I've done like I've done songs before actually that had like a similar sound with like this very like sound effecty kind of like soundscapes, which I use like this cool synth called Omnisphere, which they use in like film scoring to make like these funky, really wide, ever evolving type of soundscape sounds. And then mix it with other things like the little rattlesnakes going from this side to the ear to the other side. Like little weird like Texas vibes.
Are you doing any live? Are you doing a lot of live shows? Or
I hope to be with this. I haven't done for this one yet. I did a Holy Outlaws show before the album dropped, but I didn't actually play any songs from this album on it.
Okay.
Because it was kind of like our we didn't really have a band set up yet for it that was here. I outsourced a lot of these things that I needed to have done, so people aren't from this country that are doing certain things. But they never heard the song, so how would they know it? Like in time,
Right.
it was a show I did out in the Hamptons for a Chabad where they wanted to do a fundraising dinner or what have you, and they said, "But I don't want you as like a solo. They want like a full band." First, he's like, "Do you have any band friends?" Like I sent him all the bands I know. I gave him a lot of contacts. You know, I'm connected enough to know like almost everybody in the same price range or whatever, and nobody was available or nobody was able to do it or whatever it was. And so it goes, "Can you just hire some musicians to play behind you?" I'm like,
That's a lot of
what do you
work.
think we are, monkeys? Like they need to practice. Like we don't like for what you're, you know, like what we're the amount of time we have.
I will tell you that's the most Chabad question ever.
It was, yeah. It
It's
was,
like,
it
just
definitely
do
was.
it. What do you...
It definitely was, but I'll tell you something. I knew who to ask.
Right.
Because if you just grab random people, it won't work.
Right.
Like you need people that are like consummate professionals, that you trust their ear, that they trust their eyes, that they know how to like, they see a switch, they switch at the same time. Like they don't necessarily have to. One guy I practiced with, he's our bassist, a local guy from Fairlawn who's an incredible musician. He also, I think he teaches STEM at TBC, Aria Tiefenbraun.
Oh, okay.
Incredible multi-instrumentalist. He says, I can play anything without keys. Like literally, and he does. Very, very well. And then I had a drummer friend of mine who's phenomenal, Nathan Harari, who's played with a lot of people, and I think he's from somewhere in South America or something, but he's phenomenal talent and can just like pick up the beat like on cue and knows how to follow. And then we had another guy named Zev Harari, I believe.
Another Harari? The brothers?
No. One was, so it sounded like Harari.
One's Harari.
One was a Harari.
Sounds Sephardi.
Natan No, he's an Israeli guy who played with a lot of like wedding bands and things like that, and very good at like he can just rip a solo out of his back pocket with his left pinky finger, like anything
That's
just on
amazing.
cue. It's like sick, and it all came together very, very well. Thank God. In the end, we didn't do songs from this album. We did like other songs that they
But
were.
now
looking
you can
for.
do stuff. Would you take them along for? Would you take these type of guys?
I would. Again, the type of crowds that I have don't necessarily have the massive budgets to pull off like a Haas concert with a full band and pyrotechnics and all this stuff and whatever. It would be nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing
I think
like
it's
that.
coming.
But I do have like the project stems that I can use if ever they want to have the full sound of production that I can play along with and sing along with as backtracks, which a lot of people also do. So I
Right.
could do that as well. For the same price of just hiring one guy.
There you go.
Works for me, yeah. So I set that up at least, but I hope to get it. I did a big email campaign going out to all the Chabads. I've been doing another outreach campaign. I got a cool app that's like an AI powered suite of executives. One does like content writing, one does like sales, one does customer service, one's a receptionist, one's an executive assistant.
I love how you geek out to this stuff.
I totally
You're
do.
Such a geek.
This
with
guy
stuff. I
basically
love
will
it.
find me leads of people that match the Jewish job descriptions that I'm looking for, send out an email, follow up. I had a problem because over Yontiv, I was like, oh no. He must have, I sent him in automation mode. He probably sent out a bunch of emails from my Gmail on Yontiv. I'm freaking out. Like, dear Rabbi, hire me to teach your people about Judaism. Signed on Yontiv. Turns out, so I quickly said, Stan, you idiot. I call him Stan. He has a name. I was like, you idiot. Like, I can't believe you did this. I told you not to send anything on Yontiv or Shabbos. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, go back and check exactly who you sent it to on Shabbos and write a very compelling and convincing letter of apology. So he writes one up, and I'm like, no, explain to them how you're a stupid AI, and I was sitting here dancing with a Torah and doing a kafes while you were sending out emails on my behalf on Yontiv after I told you not to. And so what happened? By a miracle, I guess because Gmail saw them sending out regular emails from my account, they disconnected the send option.
Really?
I guess they're like wondering if I'm
Too much. You're
spamming.
maybe a bot or
over
something.
right before Yontiv. So after Yontiv, I checked. I'm like, oh, no harm done. Phew, thank God. And I was like, for a while there, I'm like, oh, there goes my career. Like,
That's so funny. That's so funny.
yeah, bitachon, you got to have a little bit.
All right. Well, listen, I think you got your sound.
Thank you.
You got your sound.
Appreciate it.
I'm really happy because I always said, I don't know if I said this to you last time, but I was always fascinated with the idea that Yitzchak was a higher level than Rivka. When Yitzchak and Rivka went to daven for a child, they say that a tzaddik ben tzaddik is better than a tzaddik ben rasha, which is such a weird thing to say because you would think that a person that rose up from the ashes and became a tzaddik on their own is amazing. But I always read it that if you, like you said, like my father opened doors, but the problem is it's very hard to be your own voice after such a powerful.
Big shoes to fill.
It's big shoes to fill, and you don't want to fill the shoes. You want your own shoes.
Yeah.
So it's like it's much more pressure on someone like you to find their own voice. I'm serious that when I heard it, I smiled and I was like,
He got it. He found
he
it.
got it. Binyamin on the Torah bike. He finally got it,
found
bro.
his voice.
We just, I was sitting in the bath the other day going, bike Torah rider,
Like
put
cameo.
us in your bubbleizer.
Yeah, my dad used to say, when I went like a couple years before he died, I'm like, can you send me all your chords and your lyrics and stuff? I go, I haven't played some of your songs in 20 years. I don't remember half of the chords I played. I can tell you they weren't easy. I'm like, gee, thanks, He's like, but if you want to cover my stuff and be my guest, but I'd rather you be a first-rate version of yourself and not a second-rate version of me. And it was good advice. But at the same time, it's like, you still my blessing to cover well, but don't not contribute what you have to offer because your generation is going to have their challenges that only you know about and how to relate to and only you can sing about. And right now, this generation is struggling with how to be a really proud Jew in the face of the entire world telling you that you don't belong. Even if you wound up being like them, like you think they would hold you to be less of a Jew? No, on the contrary, they just say you're a hypocrite. Hitler didn't care if you were from Jew, a non-Jew, a quarter Jew, an eighth Jew. You had a little bit of Jew in you, you're too Jewish. You know, we need to be like, you better believe I'm a Jew. I'm the Jewiest Jew you'll ever meet.
I'm the Jewiest Jew, and I love Hashem.
I love Hashem.
Hashem.
What's your favorite song on this album, by the way?
It's Forged with Steel.
Yeah, a lot of people like. A lot of people like that one.
No question, because I keep going back to it because I watch it on YouTube, and then I keep going back. I want some. You got to get some videos in there because they're gonna be cool videos, but. I keep going back to that one because there's so many great lyrics in that song. Just like, it just makes me feel like I just want to like roar with pride. Yeah. That's the feeling of that song. I feel like a little Israeli kid going, yes, I'm home.
Together, yes.
That's definitely my best. And I have the other ones playing, but that one is, that's the top. All right.
Yeah. I got to give a lot of credit also to a good friend of mine, Elchanan Cohen from Clifton. I don't know if you know him, but he's one of the guys that kind of pushed me in the direction of this type of sound. Like years ago, it's like he showed me this cool Alison Krauss song called. She did a cover of. It was about the story about these kids in Appalachia and these two boys that wandered off and some miracle. It's called Jacob's Dream. Look it up. It's a cool song. You like stories?
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to like the story.
Yeah, Jacob's Dream
by Alison Krauss. And he's like, yeah, this would be a cool song for you. And originally I know him because he used to bring me out and do gigs and stuff. We became friends over the years. And he gave me like a couple of hints in this direction and kind of turned me on to the idea of me doing it. I was like, country, I like it, but everybody thinks it's stupid, like in my opinion. Growing up, because everyone else, Shweki and all these guys are singing pop and
right.
Jewish music, and that's what the sound is. But like when everyone zigs, you could zag and be unique. You don't have to like just because the whole Jewish sound is this. You don't have to define Jewish sound by what everyone else is doing.
Right.
One of the things my father did was like, you could do you. You can do you and just make it kosher. At the end of the day, as long as you're singing about God and you're singing about ways to connect with Him and ways to be a better Jew or ways to be a prouder Jew, whatever it is. Do it in, like Zulu music for all you care. Who cares? Make it work.
I'm waiting for that album. All right, let me ask you, because I always ask everybody the rooftop question. I think I asked you last time. Unless I didn't come up with the rooftop question at that point, which is that if you're sitting on top of a rooftop and you just got a microphone, just yelling to the world something, like what do you want to yell? Everybody's listening. Like what do you want to yell to the world?
I want to yell to the world. Ooh, it's a good question. It's a good question.
No, I love it.
This is the kind of question I'd want to give a lot of thought to, but you can
it's like a question that
I think after our conversation that we had today, and I might come back and say there's more to that, but for now, have bitachon at the end of the day. It's all going to be fine. We'll get through this too. One day Mashiach will be here and everything will make sense. And the time being, we're working through the motions of the pressure that it takes to make a diamond form. We have to be like put under tremendous pressure. And during that pressure period, you're basically just ash and carbon. It feels like everything's like this black dirt. But at the end, what happens? The earth produces this beautiful gem. And that's what we're looking for. Right now, we're just going through that growth period. So have belief that everything's going to be fine. Everything will be fine. And there's no problem.
There's no problem. I love it. So beautiful, right, man. Thank you so much for coming. I have no idea how long we went. Beautiful, beautiful. It's a Friday afternoon.
Almost, and we managed to do this.
We got to get, I was so happy that we got to do this. I literally let's go. All right, but now you're a regular, so you never know. Let's get the next album out.
Yeah, listen, we're halfway there already.
We'll promote the hell out of you,
In the meantime, anybody who wants to follow my career, whatever I'm doing with it, I'm all over social media, on Instagram, Facebook.
How do they find you?
You can go to my website, taliyes.com.
We're going to leave all the links on the description.
And everywhere else, I'm just Taliyes, Taliyess. Second S is silent.
The second, unless you have a lisp. Well, I want to say one last thing, which is, I think When I heard that, I think you're about to experience
Hope so.
a wild explosion in your life, and I
hope so.
give you the bracha that should be like it should be for good.
I hope
It
so.
should be for good, and yeah,
I'm trying to make a vessel for it now. I'm trying to make like a...
This was art, bro.
Thank you.
This was real This was not a
Appreciate it.
craft. This was art.
I had a couple, I would say, chart-topping artists in the industry reach out to me when this came out. One of them was from Ben C. Marcus from Eighth Day. And he was like, dude, like they just sent me fire emojis. He didn't have words for it, you know? And I kept seeing his stories. He kept posting that as the music for his stories, for his trip to Texas or wherever he was going. And then another guy was Moshe Oslander from who's originally a Muncie guy. He runs, I think, is it not, what's that? Is it Rega Kesha? Or, well, it's a camp up there somewhere in Otapan. My son worked for them. I think it's Regish, maybe?
Regish. Camp Regish, yeah.
So he's also like, he has like a hit album right now with like one of the top songs out. And he remembers me from Victoria Gardens when I first moved to Muncie. I used to go to his apartment. They had like a 5-part harmony.
Wait, who's that guy?
Moshe Oslander.
Oslander, okay, yeah.
So he's like, Tali, he just kept saying, wow, 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 wow. I'm listening. I don't know if it was premature because I only got through the first few songs, but wow, 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 wow. He said like 50 times the word wow in the message. I can't bore you with the rest of it, but he kept going through like pointing out like that every lyric resolves perfectly and everything like just this sound like and it's great. I love it. He's not even necessarily into this style of music, but it's so different.
It is.
It's not something that people used to hear. They don't hear Jewish music sound like this. Like I said right at the beginning of everything, it sounds it sounds almost goyish, but not in a bad way.
But the goyish part is the non-Jews. The non-Jews have an advantage, and I see the Israelis are starting to do it now. Their advantage is that music is supposed to express what I'm saying, what I'm thinking. And in Jewish, it was just, how do I inspire you? So,
or how do I take this lyric from somebody else?
David HaMelech wrote something. That's inspiring, I says. But like, that's what I'm saying. When I heard, when the people I am like in love with, like your father and A.B. Rottenberg and the other.
Came from them.
And even when, even when Mohammed David or Robin Free does an English song, I'm like, there, now we're talking. You're using your words. You're saying what you want. The non-Jews knew that from the beginning. So tapping into the non-Jewish thing is chachmas hagayim. Like we need that. So anyway, this is your sound. Everybody go out, run out there, get this.
I wanted to,
Holy Outlaws.
You can find it on Spotify and anywhere else for 24/6, anywhere else for it's sold. Or if you want a hard copy, you can buy it on holyoutlaws.com.
Holy Outlaws.
We even have vinyl on there if you want.
Ooh.
I want to show you this. I sent you this by email, but this is like one of the playlists that are playlisting all 10 songs of the album.
The
Christian Trucker playlist.
Christian Trucker playlist.
If the non-Jews are listening to it, they must. I must be doing something right.
Doing it right, bro. Oh my!
I have a funny story to tell you before we wrap up quickly.
Tell me.
This past year, around Pesach time, I think, maybe Shavuos or Pesach time. So I had the privilege of doing a show in Bali's golf course with Yossi Green, the legend.
The legend.
And very different styles, he and I, in case you didn't notice. But he had a Yerli Palachik do like an AI choir, as he called it, with him. And it was like a question and answer period. Like a very intimate show, not thousands of people, but very, very close to the performer. And he sat at the piano, and Yerli was on his keyboard with his microphone doing backup vocals. And he had and people would ask questions. And when I wasn't on stage doing my thing, I came down and I sat down. Alyssa was fascinated. You guys have 1,000 songs or more. Like he wrote, him and Baruch Chait probably wrote 80% of the hits that we listened to growing up, in the Hebrew language stuff. And so he had some guy. I asked the rabbi that was putting on the event. I was like, can I ask him a question? He goes, of course, sure. So I'm like, Yossi. He goes, I'm like, you're arguably the most prolific and sought after songwriter of Jewish music for most mainstream artists. Like everybody wants to take your songs and perform. Avram Fried, Mordechai Ben David, you name it, everybody's doing it. and he's probably like 80. I think he stated like 80 songs in production right now. Like that's the level of the level he's operating at. I said, Saif Kal Saif. In the end of the days, when Mashiach comes and the resurrection of the dead happens, what percentage of David Melch's royalties are you going to have to pay? He goes, it's funny. You think it's a joke. It sounds like a joke. And everybody was clapping, first of all, when I told him what a great guy, because he is. Yeah, he's a legend. But they were laughing because who knows? I mean, maybe there's a big class action lawsuit that's happening. So you think it's funny. In the state of Israel, there's some organization in the government that's claiming ownership on David Melch's writings and suing us.
Nah.
In court, right?
That's hilarious.
Is that crazy?
That's crazy. That's funny.
That crazy? So now you know I write in English.
That's
right,
beautiful.
Sonny.
Thank you, brother.
Good.
That
Have
was
a good
awesome.
Thank you for this day that I've been given. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this chance. Thank you for this chance to live.